Hey guys, I want to do a real quick video lecture about integrating sources into your APA formatted papers. So first off, this isn't altogether that much different. I think I've said that before. It's not altogether that much different between MLA and APA, but there are some differences. The theory, the requirement in the theory is holds true, that what we're trying to do is show the evidence that we brought into our paper so that we can prove our point, but also so that other readers can, our readers can go back and find those sources if they want to use them in their own work or in their own research, which is important because when you go throughout your educational career and even post-education, especially if you're like in the sciences, you probably will find yourself reading papers and then using the citations and the evidence that's brought in to find other writers and other researchers to help with your research. So it's just kind of like this chain thing it's a gift that keeps on giving when you have good citations. All right, so like we did in, I think with this MLA video that I've done, there are three main ways that we can do in-text citations or incorporate evidence that will require in-text citations. Those are using direct quotes, and remember, we don't want to use an orphan or a floating quote. We want to use a good partial quote. We can paraphrase, which is to shorten somebody's ideas down, generally, a sentence or two, or a summary. And when we summarize, of course, it's going to be generally a much larger piece of information, or text, or even a whole book or something like that we're going to summarize somebody's ideas down into. And remember that all of these do require that you give credit where credit is due. You have to cite your sources, and it doesn't matter which of these three ways that you use. All right, so let's look at some direct quote examples. All right, so here we have, under the single author, you're going to see that there are three main elements that you're going to find in an APA formatted paper. It's always going to be at least the first two that I have here in red and blue. And if you're using like a book or some kind of other, like in a journal article, you're going to have a bunch of different journals, or a journal, issue of a journal that's printed. You're going to find a bunch of different individual journal articles. So those might have page numbers, but if you're using web-based sources, you're not going to have the green that I have here with the page numbers. But the first two, the red and the blue, you're always going to have. And so in this red, you're going to see I have Schwartz, and this thing says Schwartz noted. The term cloud comes through traditional representation of the internet in network diagrams. All right, so in this partial quote that I'm using, the author of this is in red, the Schwartz, and then 2013 is the year of publication from wherever that quote came from. And then this is probably going to be a journal article if it's a page number that's this large, right? So 1600 is you can easily get journal article pages, very, very large. Things that I do want you to note here in this single author is the red is the author, and immediately after the author's name is going to be your parenthetical citation of the year. And it goes, no matter where you have the author's name in the paper, it goes immediately after. MLA is different. It goes generally at the end of the sentence or at the end of the paragraph or whatever it's going to be. In in APA, it goes immediately after the author's name. I also do want to say here too that we have this verb noted, and of course that's a signal phrase or a signal word to show that you're about to tell somebody some information. All right, with two authors, it's pretty much the same. You have both authors here, Fontana and Montalbano, or I'm sorry, butchered that one. And then you'll see that, but even regardless of how terrible I pronounce it, you're going to see that I have immediately after the authors, I have the year of publication. We have our partial quote here, and then the page number. Three or more authors is the same thing. And then depending on how many more you have, if you have three or more, I think it's more than three authors, you're going to just have in here it would be Layoub, et al. And remember I said that et al. Means, and all the rest of them is basically what that means in Latin. And that's going to depend on whether you're using APA 6 or APA 7. So you'll have to look at that, look at your formatting guidelines for APA 6 or 7. All right. With page numbers, all right, so here's some paraphrasing examples. So what I did here with these quotes is they are paraphrases, but I've kind of mixed them up a little bit to show you how you're going to do these two the same. So this is basically the same information, but what I did is put the citation at the end of the sentence, and you're going to see here again, it's going to be the last names of the authors, and then the year, and then the publication, the year of publication, and then the page dates. Same thing here. I switched it up. I just wanted to present the information a little differently. I put the Bram-Peebles out of the parenthetical citation and put it into the actual paraphrase, and I've got the author's name, and then the year of publication, and then the page numbers at the end if you have them. If you don't have page numbers, you just strike it. You don't have to worry about it. But if you do have page numbers, it's good. Good to include those. All right. So when we summarize, so here's a summary. So this is from Roger Ebert. He wrote a critique of the show of the movie Finding Nemo. You can see that this, he's kind of giving a summary of what the whole movie is about, kind of giving some highlights of it, and at the end you're going to see name and year of publication, 2003. This other one that I have, this other example that I have down at the bottom, same thing. This is me giving a summary of the entire book Moby Dick. How many pages is that? I don't know, but the plot of the Moby Dick can be distilled into man hunts fish, fish kills man, and that's, you can see that we can shorten an entire book up into one very short sentence. All right, so here we go again, more parenthetical citations. I just wanted to show you that if you have one author, if you have more than multiple authors in APA 6 for sure, it's going to be, you're going to put all of them, whatever the file, the format style of that year. If it's 6 or 7 in APA 7, it's going to be different. You just need to check and see what your style guide tells you to do. If there is no author given, what we want to do is use an abbreviated title from abbreviation of the or an abbreviated form of the title of the paper or the source that you're using. If that is a web page that you're going to be using, then if it doesn't have an author's name, you can use an abbreviated shortening of the title. However, I'm going to say in APA and academic work, if you're using a website that doesn't have an author or you probably need to find another source, because I'm almost positive there's going to be a source out there that'll cover what you want. And then if there is an organizational author, I know that a lot of people will use government organizations, NASA, or a bunch of different, CDC or the EPA or whatever you're going to use in your persuasive paper that I'm asking you to write for this APA formatted paper. If it's National Institute of Justice, then use that, or if it's national, NASA or whatever it's going to be, then that's going to be your organizational author of the source that you're using, and then the year. Okay. So here's the thing, APA formatting, the most important thing to remember is that you have the author, and immediately after it is the year of publication. And I can't tell you, like I tell you in, time and again, I can't give you a specific answer for every single thing here. I couldn't do it if we were in class. All I can tell you is that you have tons of resources, Little Seagull Manual, you have the Purdue OWL, ECU's Writing Center website, all kinds of different information that is available for you to be able to find the right way to format your paper. So, but just remember, don't mix and match. If you're going to write your paper in APA 6, that's fine. But if you need to stick with APA 6 formatting guidelines, and if you're going to write it in 7, you need to stick with your APA 7 formatting guidelines for your parenthetical citations and your references list entries. All right, if you guys have any questions, you know where I am.